was white. My lawyer was white. My co-defendants lawyers was all white. The court reporters was white. So we were sitting in court, and the only blacks in the courtroom were our family members and ourselves.
Mm.
When you're doing that, it's a very scary situation. It kind of reminds you of back in the day when people were being lynched, and they brought the family members around to see the lynching, so that they could put the fear in their heart that if you step out of line, you're going to get the same thing that they got. Um, so it reminds me of that. So when you're in jail and you see a black guard, especially a black guard that is still black. I mean, because
Right.
people can have, and when I say black, I don't mean the color of your skin.
Mm. Mm.
I'm talking about your mindset. The mindset that everybody counts. And people can say whatever they want to. I don't think blacks are racist. It's almost impossible for them to be racist. First of all, because they don't have any power, so they can't use their power against nobody else because they don't have any power. But when you see a black guy that will cut for you, that will make sure that you're not getting mistreated, it's a wonderful thing. But the problem is that a lot of black guys who get in, uh, I mean, like with a lot of our entertainers right now, they are no longer black. They become
Mhm.
uh, uh, this figurehead that, even though they climbed up on the black community's back, they have a tendency to stub their nose at the community as well. And I see this with so many of our wealthy blacks in this country.
Rick Ross. I want to do all the imitation Rick Ross, I should say. You
William
want to take a
Roberts.
name,
Yeah.
William Roberts. How do you feel about him to this day? Do you think that he's a fraud?
Do I think he's a fraud? Come on, that's a fact. It's a fact. His name is not Rick Ross. His mother didn't name him Rick Ross. He renamed himself Rick Ross. He hasn't done any of the things that he rap about, that he said he's done. I mean, his story is so made up from even being a football player. We went back into the high school records, and we couldn't find one picture of him in a football uniform. It's no way possible that in the 90s you could have been an All-American football player and not have a picture in a football uniform. When you make All-American, they take a picture of all the All-Americans and they post them. So the guy's story is totally made up. But that's just another part of this whole facade that has been sold to black people and that we're buying into. They've been picking our leaders. We haven't been picking our leaders. We haven't picked our stars. We don't pick who is going to be the next singer. We don't pick who's going to be the next rapper. Somebody else pick all those people for us, and then they do what they call programming to make us like them. And these people may not give a shit about you. I don't believe that you the homie if you never come to the hood. How are you the homie if you never in the hood? No, you're not the homie. You're not the homeboy. All my homeboys come by the house sometimes.
Yeah.
Right.
How'd the lawsuit go with you and him? Didn't you lose that lawsuit with William Roberts?
I was cheated out that lawsuit. I didn't lose the lawsuit. I've lost about 3 lawsuits since I've been home, including my documentary. And the problem is not that the evidence is not there. It's just that the courts they turn a blind eye. See, it's one thing to be a black man in this country. Then it's a whole nother one to be a black man with a conviction. And then it's a whole nother one to be a black man with a conviction that's also a kingpin.
Yeah.
That takes it to a whole nother level. So when I go to court, I'm not really looking for anything. I'm just exercising my rights as a human being. And if I didn't exercise my rights, I would feel like as if I didn't do my my due diligence to pursue my cause. So yes, I lost that lawsuit, but I felt good about it. Even with the loss, I made Universal have 15 lawyers. you know, and I had 2 lawyers that was helping me pro bono. I filed my lawsuit myself. I started the process myself. I was able to get 2 lawyers to come in. They said they spent $1.5 million to fight me.
Wow.
Do you think that it was a universal or a label thing creating this persona and take it? Because we've seen, I mean, 50, he ain't the real 50. We've seen Freeway take your persona in the Freeway, but pay homage. Do you think it's a label thing to kind of push these personas on these rappers to push an agenda? Or you think that was carbon copy? No, I'm going to take his whole swag and run with it and then act like I didn't. It was mine myself.
Well, the labels definitely the labels definitely put the money behind to put people in places that, you know, these artists where they are now, and the labels don't care if these artists are going to be good for the community or not. Matter of fact, they almost promote them not being good. I mean, and you got to look at society. Here I am. I try to go to schools and speak, and sometimes they reject it because I'm a drug dealer. But then I'll be sitting in the gym and I'll hear him playing the Snowman, and every day I'm hustling and how much dope I sold, and I dropped the Molly in the girl's drink. So when you look at society as a whole, you know that it's twisted. And then they turn around and punish the kid because he started to sell drugs. How could you? How could you give a kid a test and you know you gave him the wrong answers? Not the wrong answers. Let me correct that. The wrong math. It would be like if you give a kid the numbers that you know won't add up to what the answer is supposed to be, and you expect him to figure out how to do right. No.
What was your first thought though when you seen that he took your name? Like, what was your first thought? Did you use a little shock?
Man, I don't think about that, dude. Man, I got so much stuff going on right now. You know, I'm about to be the king of marijuana. I'm about to be the richest motherfucker in the whole world. I'm about to pass Bill Gates. You know,
God damn it.
Hopefully, pop. You still there?
I'm here, but I can't see my face again.
Yeah, we could definitely.
Let me hit it again, man. I'm sorry.
No doubt, good, man. Freeway Rick Ross in the building, man. It's just getting heated up in this motherfucker too, yo.
Yeah, he got woke up when he heard that shit. He was
That's what I think he is.
Yeah, he was chilling. He was calm and cool. As soon as he heard that, he's like, "What?"
Yeah, all right, he back on.
Yeah, sorry about that, man. But yeah, I'm about to be the probably the richest motherfucker in this world. And I see all these people who can't think. You know, it's like, damn, these motherfuckers can't think. How they get these positions? You know, but I know now, you know, they had their mamas and daddies who paid $200,000 and $300,000 for them to get in a certain college, and you know, they was able to brush shoulders with, you know, with the people who are doing this and doing that, and it's just a good old boy network, and I just don't think they can outthink me.
Talk about that $1 billion enterprise you got going on, the marijuana business. Is it out in California, or where you located at?
Well, I'm starting in California, but I'm negotiating in 9 states right now because I started my marijuana business with only $500.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
Just so people know, I started my marijuana business with only $500. I had $105,000 taken from me on the highway about 6 years ago. You know, that was only about 6-7 months after I was in the industry.
The police took it?
Yeah, the police took it from me. They saw me, you know, I was driving in a pack of cars. It was about 17 cars. I was the only black. And, you know, the cop that took the handcuffs off me, you know, he had watched my documentary. He was a fan. And he told me, he said, man, don't you know how they do up here? And I was like, no, what they do? He said, they go eeny, meeny, mighty, mo. There go a nigga.
Oh, shit.
That's real, man.
That's a fact.
Wow. You ain't try to fight that to try to get that money back? There was nothing you could do?
Yeah, I did. It was a legal search and seizure and all. You know, he violated all my rights, but, you know, who cares? When you go to court, the judge is looking at it. This is an ex-drug kingpin. Yeah, he's probably up here trying to buy marijuana because, you know, I was in the triangle. So they punished me. But at the end of the day, that really was a benefit because, you know, the news media picked it up and the LA Times did an article and they called me the new Prince of Marijuana. And I never thought about that. You know, I was just trying to sell some marijuana because I you know, was homeless and.
You still there?